Hello, everybody. You're listening to the Big Chill Podcast. This is episode 646. Down goes Liverpool. Hello, Big Chillians. Welcome back to the Big Chill Podcast. Frank, joined as always with Eddie. Eddie, how's it going?
Yeah, things are going pretty well. Few things interesting, few days of sport. I've got a few things to complain about. So
I bet you do.
Yeah. Sport and non-sport related.
Oh, okay. Wouldn't be a podcast if you didn't.
No, I won't. Don't worry, I won't go straight into the rants. How are you?
Well, I mean, I was going to say, should we just start right away and just say Premier League title race over?
Well, I won't say it's over, but it's down to 2. I think it's fair to say Liverpool tonight with their 2-0 defeat away to Everton, Merseyside Derby. This puts them out of it. I mean, they're 3 points behind Arsenal, both having played the same games, and Liverpool have a far inferior goal difference. So they are effectively 4 points behind. And then you have City, who are a point behind Liverpool, but now have 2 games in hand. So assuming City win their 2 games in hand, then you're looking at, Liverpool being 3/4 points behind Arsenal and 4 points behind 5 points, behind City. So they'll need 2 teams to slip up twice, and I just don't think that will happen. So I think we can rule them out. Jurgen Klopp, his final few games are going to be a real anticlimax. When you think
real meaningless.
When you think that a month ago, 6 weeks ago, they were talking about the potential quadruple to finish things up, and in the end, they're gonna have nothing. So, aside from the League Cup midway through the season, but I think this isn't me hating on Liverpool or Jurgen Klopp. I actually like Jurgen Klopp. This seems like a kind of fitting end to his tenure at Liverpool, because I think we had that brief discussion. Would this put them into sort of Premier League legend status? And I don't think he warranted, or this Liverpool side warranted, that kind of discussion. Had they ended on a significant high, then I think they might have obtained it. And in the end, I think it's about right that they finish his time at Liverpool with 1 Premier League title, a Champions League final defeat, and a couple of really close Premier League run-ins where they've come up short. I think that feels right.
I mean, I think when you put it like that, it doesn't sound that amazing, but I think in Liverpool lore, it will be much more positive.
Well, look, he's at the moment, considering the Premier League started in 1992. So Liverpool had their period of dominance, before we were born, in the old First Division, and both European dominance and dominance in England. He doesn't enter the discussion to me for greatest Liverpool managers of all time, just because there have been some who've achieved so much prior to him being there. However, he's undoubtedly the greatest Liverpool Premier League manager. It's only really between him and Gerard Houllier, who never won the Premier League, but did have success in cup competitions. Benitez, he had the Champions League. So, there's a little bit of competition there. There's been multiple FA Cup wins.
Well, I guess he's done the quadruple, right? Not in one season, but because he's got the Premier League, he's got the Champions League,
he's won everything he could have won during his time.
Yeah.
They won the FIFA Club World Cup while he was there. They won the Community Shield. He will leave Liverpool having won every competition that they could have won. I think, did they win the FA Cup under?
Yeah, 2021, 2022.
Yeah. But and that's very good. But he still falls well short of, if you think, I think the big 4 managers in the history of the Premier League up to this point would be Ferguson, Wenger, Mourinho, Guardiola. He is clearly a tier below them. And then, but he secures his, legendary status in Liverpool. That's significant. They're a big club. It's a big city to hold that kind of, to leave with the kind of reverence with which he will leave is impressive. But, there's a difference between being a club legend and a legend in the league as a whole. And I don't think he's done enough to be held in that regard. It's worth saying, too, focus on Liverpool losing. Big result for Everton. Probably means they're safe, barring the possibility that they have another points deduction between now and the end of the season, which we can't entirely rule out, I suppose. But they're now 8 points clear of Luton with 4 games to go. I don't think Luton are picking up 8 points in the next 4 games. So I think even if Everton lose all of their remaining fixtures, I think they're safe. And that's also factoring in they have Nottingham Forest between them and the bottom 3 as well. So yeah. I think it's a battle between the top 2 for the Premier League. It's now a battle between the bottom 3. Well, Sheffield United are down.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's a battle between the bottom
3 for the last 2.
3 for the last 2 places, yeah.
Okay.
Which goes back as a neutral. All I can hope is that now City and Arsenal are within touching distance of each other on the final day of the season. And let's say 3 of those teams are fighting over 2 spaces at the bottom. And then that's a very compelling final day of the season still. Not as good as it could have been, but still would be fun.
I mean, that's the hope.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's
still a few games to get to that.
Yeah, or Forest win their next 2 games, Arsenal slip up again, and all of a sudden there's not a lot to play for on the final day of the season. But yeah,
which will be a shame considering 3 weeks ago it looked like without a doubt there would be some drama at the end.
Yeah, and look, there could be other things. The Champions League's places that could be competitive on the final day of the season. Like there could be several storylines live on the last day, but it's not looking. I scheduled with a bunch of friends 3 weeks ago. We all put in our calendars last day of the season, going to the pub to watch it, and everybody was in. I think the way that events have gone since then mean that a few people probably won't show up now. Big win for Manchester United. Speaking against soon to be relegated Sheffield United, they came from behind to win.
Ooh, spectacular! Wow,
important win.
So impressive.
Important win on the back of the weekend that they had. Obviously, blowing a 3-0 lead in the FA Cup semi-final against Coventry, ended up going through on penalties. Manchester City winning the other semi-final 1-0 against Chelsea. I guess we can just focus on a Manchester United Coventry match.
I mean, if you're a United supporter, I think you have to be embarrassed that you have to now actually play in the finals, because that match was one of the most embarrassing. As someone who doesn't care, besides the fact that I had put like €20 or $20 on United, I mean, I have no stake in this game, but it was just disgraceful to watch them blow that 3-0 lead. And then just the fact that you have United players getting booked for time wasting playing fucking Coventry is unbelievable. It's embarrassing.
Arsenal would have had a player booked in about the 23rd minute, so they did better than that. I agree with you that it is, from the quality of team that Manchester United have and the status they have as a club, to be 3-0 up with 20 minutes to go against Coventry, who are a mediocre championship club, and to blow that is embarrassing.
To blow it is embarrassing, but then just the quality and the level of play in the last, I don't know, let's say 20 minutes of the match and then all of extra time is just, that to me is even more embarrassing. Like, I don't know how you can be a supporter and watch that and kind of be like, Oh yeah, I hope we make it to the finals. You know, like if I were them, I'd be like, I hope we fucking lose because I don't want to see this again.
Yeah, the tough thing too is, right, knowing already that they were going to be facing City in the final. I think the embarrassment is slightly compounded by the fact that they, deep down, most Manchester United supporters will not be giving themselves much of a chance in the final itself. So, had this been with the prospect of playing Chelsea, they would have thought we scraped through in the semi-final, but we have a legitimate chance now of winning a major trophy. Whereas we probably embarrassed ourselves in the semi-final, and we may well embarrass ourselves in the final. And was it worth it? Like, I'd rather have the game less and not have our fiercest rivals win another trophy against us. The one thing I will say, I think there's been a slight overreaction in terms of people being like, Ten Hag should leave immediately, or those who kind of gave Rasmus Højlund a bit of a hard time because he celebrated the winning penalty. And I don't understand. They still are winning a cup semi-final. Like, I don't know why they're expecting Højlund to just score the penalty and just walk back to the halfway line. I know a lot of Manchester United players just immediately turn around to shake hands with the Coventry players, aside from, one who decided to run away and kind of give
Hold,
the ears, holding his
holding the
ears.
ears up. What
a
a
really,
move by him! What a
a
move by
really,
a player who costs more money than the entire team that he is trying to
that's
shit
true.
talk, and
Yeah,
has done absolutely nothing for that team.
a very classy move by Anthony. But because I will say, if I'm going to defend Manchester United, the second Coventry goal heavily deflected, so kind of you can write that off a little bit. And the penalty was a bit debatable, the equalizer in injury time. Now, the other side of that is Manchester United were probably lucky not to concede a goal and lose 4-3 at the very end of extra time. But,
So
you know,
lucky.
but still, I don't know. I think there was a little bit of an overreaction to that. Like, Ten Hag should walk. It's still a major cup final. I
I'm
don't think it's
surprised. I'm surprised he wasn't fired before the shootout even ended.
that would have been the move. That
Oh
would have
my
been
god!
more acceptable than firing him afterwards.
I have
But
to say that the VAR overrule on that last goal at the end of extra time, that's got to be devastating for the supporters there, because I mean, that was, even I got into it. Like, even I was kind of like, oh my god, like jumping up, like excited, and then to have to slowly kind of like peel back the excitement, that hurt a lot. And
yeah, it
again,
wasn't a
like
great.
I the other part of that I really dislike is the constant, like, oh, that should just count. I'm so sick and tired of hearing this. Like, I get it. It's like it's a minimal offside that didn't affect anything, but it's the fucking rule. Like, enough of this. Like, oh, that should just count. Like, can't it just count? It's like it's the fucking rule.
Well,
It's the rule.
the big debate with the Coventry one, right, is which frame were they using as the point of reference for when the ball was played, and it does expose perhaps some of the technical limitations with VAR in that the frame rate may not be high enough to have the level of precision they're trying to implement. And that, this is the issue, is if you're using technology but it isn't actually delivering. I think anyone who's listening, even if you're not a big fan of football, like in the NFL we see it at times, right, where something's being reviewed but then they don't have enough camera angles, so you end up with a decision being confirmed or upheld more often than not, where you're like, I don't know if that's the right call, but we don't have the available angles to prove it or disprove it. And in this instance, it's the fact that maybe the frame rate isn't high enough to be able to say this is precisely the moment the ball has left the foot, so this is where we're measuring from. And had they taken one frame earlier or one frame later, it impacts what the decision ends up being. So personally, I would do away with VAR at this point. I just think it's more trouble than it's worth. And going back to what you were saying, the drama that gets sucked out of this sport is such a shame. Now, conversely, I've watched Blackburn lose matches over the last couple of years with goals, including actually Coventry, if they really want to complain. They only, they beat Blackburn in the last minute of a match towards the back end of last season when their goalkeeper scored with his hand. VAR would have ruled that out every day of the week. Didn't need a number of angles to do that. And the Coventry fans didn't care because there was no way to review it. And that ended up being the difference between Blackburn being in the playoffs or not. And this season we might be relegated. So talk about impactful decisions when technology is not available to you. I won't cry too much for the Coventry supporters. But, I don't know. It was a bad look all around for VAR this weekend. You had that decision, which was questionable. You had the potential penalty in the Chelsea Man City FA Cup semi-final, the Grealish handball, which I don't think it should be given, but most of the time probably is given. So then that leaves you in a weird position as a viewer. And then obviously you had the three controversial decisions in the the Everton Nottingham Forest match, which resulted in Nottingham Forest sending out one of the most bizarre tweets that a Premier League club has ever done as an official statement, basically saying that the VAR official wasn't fit to oversee the match because he's a Luton supporter, and they had raised this concern prior to the match. It was just embarrassing for Nottingham Forest. Like, you're going to go down anyway. You may as well do it with a bit of dignity. Well, I say they're going to go down anyway. They might stay up, but they deserve to go down on the back of that.
So I guess that kind of wraps up European football.
Yeah, I mean, I guess worth saying maybe Arsenal back to their midweek dominance, scoring 5 against Chelsea. Take the pressure off them, and God, they're beautiful to watch. That's all they need. No pressure, no expectations, and then they can really deliver. So, yeah.
Well, they've got a pretty tough run up, I think, to the end of the season. So, especially if you consider now Everton just beating Liverpool, that's their last match, I believe, of the season. And they still have United, and they still have Spurs.
Yeah, they've got Spurs away this weekend. So a derby, a tough one. And when you say all of these matches at the moment are must win, that's tough. Bournemouth at home, Bournemouth are okay. They come up with some weird results from time to time, Bournemouth. So yeah, you would make Arsenal heavy favourites, but it's still not. There's no gimmies at this time of the season anyway, but that isn't one. United away, and United have done a good job so far this season of playing spoilers in this Premier League title race. So, it wouldn't be a shock for them to be able to pick up some kind of result at home against Arsenal. And the one glimmer of hope you could say for Arsenal is Everton are playing so well that on the last day of the season, they might not be in the relegation battle. And that makes that match that little bit easier. They were a week or two ago, it looked as if that would be Everton probably needing to win, if not certainly needing a point. And now this might be a little bit of a, Everton players with one foot already on the beach. So things might get a little bit easier for them there. But I can't imagine Arsenal picking up 12 points from those remaining 4 matches. And I guess wrapping up the little roundup of European football, PSG won the league in France. Oh, I think since we last spoke about it, certainly. Inter Milan secured Serie A with a win against AC Milan on Sunday. So a nice way for them.
First time ever. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
The first time ever that they've clinched the domestic league by beating them. Or vice versa.
And then Real Madrid beating Barcelona also on Sunday to secure La Liga. I mean, eliminate Barcelona from contention. Put it this way, I think technically Girona can still get there, but realistically they've won the league, even if they haven't already mathematically. So England, with the Bundesliga wrapped up, Ligue 1 wrapped up, Serie A wrapped up, and La Liga wrapped up. Of the big 5 European leagues, it's the only one with anything to play for at the top.
Yeah. I mean, I think anyone who was doing anti-post is probably screwed because I don't think anyone saw Bayern Munich losing. But Perhaps there are some people that left that out and are happy otherwise.
Yeah, that would be the killer. Leverkusen are the, if you did the preseason, because you're right that all of those so far are favorites.
Yeah.
And if City go on to win, they would have also been favorites preseason. So if you were just doing the big five preseason win the league favorites, it's Bayern that have really, really let you down.
Maybe Bayern were so low that people left them out. No value.
Maybe. I doubt it, though. I doubt it. If you've thrown PSG in, then it probably means you would have been putting Bayern
True.
in. All right, in other sports, I know I'll bring up one of your favorite topics. A little bit of golf talk. Don't worry, it's not really LIV related. Although
is it just Scottie Scheffler dominated related?
A little bit of both. So obviously in response to the big paychecks that were being handed out by LIV, the PGA, we discussed it previously, announced the equity payouts that they will be making, which started today. So I don't know if you saw the breakdown of this, but it means that the projected payouts at the moment mean that Tiger Woods will be receiving $100 million. Rory McIlroy will be receiving $50 million. And then the ones that really, I think, will raise a few eyebrows, Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas both getting $30 million each.
Now, is this because they didn't sign with LIV? They're getting this?
So it's based on, in a sense, yeah, it's continued participation in the PGA Tour, and it is obviously rewarding players for past performance. A few people got upset that Scottie Scheffler should be getting the biggest payout. And it's like, well, yes and no. He's dominating golf right now, but then Spieth dominated golf not that long ago and was the face of golf.
Tiger dominated 40 years ago.
I mean, Tiger Woods just keeps making money hand over
How
fist.
is he getting $100 million? This guy, that's pretty impressive.
I mean, I guess the thing is, right, they were willing to offer him $1 billion, supposedly, to go to LIV. So you could say...
Do you think Tiger Woods is still a big draw?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think he's still the biggest draw?
In golf? Yeah. I still think if there are rumors flying around that he's remotely healthy, he's the one thing that really makes people tune in or turn up. Like, I think that's the guarantee of, like, Tiger's healthy. Like, they say he's hitting the ball pretty well. They're saying he can walk.
They're saying he doesn't need crutches.
But an interesting statistic I also saw, because obviously people are making a big deal out of the fact, of Scottie Scheffler's dominance, of how it compares with Tiger's dominance. So Scottie Scheffler has now been ranked number 1 in golf for 73 weeks total, not consecutively, but in total. But that means if he wants to catch Tiger Woods' record for the longest time spent as the world number 1 in golf, that he needs to remain number 1 from now until October 21st, 2035.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Because Scottie Scheffler's 73 weeks, Tiger held onto so far in his career has been was 281 weeks straight world number 1 and 683 weeks total at world number 1.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to disregard, I think, probably Spieth, but this could be one of the most dominant runs we've seen since Tiger. But it's still very short in the span of, like, it's like the last 6 tournaments now has almost won every one that he's played in, which is insane to think about. But that is still such a very narrow time point in the overall scheme of golf. Like, it's only one major, right? It's not even, he's not done the Grand Slam or anything like that, or multiple majors in a year. So
Well, to put further, it's not only, yes, he's had an incredible start to this season. You know, he's never won a tournament after April in his career.
I was like, I think he has won a tournament. He's won like
He's
five.
yeah, he's no, but he's never
No,
won a
in
tournament
April. Okay.
at April or
After April.
later. He basically only wins in the southern United States, and so he dominates this early part of the season when the PGA Tour is playing almost exclusively in the South, and he, so Augusta's a great course for him. The Houston Open's a great course for him. And look, I don't think that's an indication of the fact that he's not good enough to go and win the Open or the US Open or whatever. But definitely, like most golfers, it's probably a reflection of the fact that certain types of courses, certain types of grass, certain weather conditions are better for him. And so, everyone's just assuming, well, put him down for 2 majors plus this year and, another 6 or 7 tour wins. But not only would that be unprecedented dominance post Tiger, it would be unprecedented for him to have any success of huge significance. I mean, he's finished second, and I think he finished second at the U.S. Open a couple of years. Like, I'm not saying he's going to
I
completely
can't wait
become
for him to shut you up on this stat.
He's like, he can't shut me out because I'm not making a prediction. I'll say this: I would be surprised if he wins the Open. That would be the one. I don't feel like his game translates well to links play. But aside from that, I'm not going to say he can't win the US Open or that he can't win a tournament in New York. Like I'm not limiting to him geographically to the southeast of the United States. But it's just an interesting thing, like it's, again, talking about that dominance. That's the difference. That's where Tiger, who definitely did have courses he preferred, still is also unique because he went everywhere and won.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to see how long this can last. I mean, especially given your stats and your bashing of him past May and not being able to win in a non-warm weather southern climate. I'm now interested to see how quickly he can
I
shut you up.
mean, he's so religious. Maybe he can only win in the Bible Belt. Maybe,
Nice.
maybe that's his big issue.
Nice. I mean, it's not his issue. That's just what God wants for him.
It's true. He is confirming God's glory in God's chosen land. All right, where do we go next? We've obviously got big news from college football. We've got you look. We're not going to cover the fact that Reggie
Bush.
a topic we discussed a couple months ago, and now officially Reggie Bush is getting his 2005 Heisman Trophy back. My opinion on this hasn't changed since the last time we spoke about it, which is he did break the rules.
Yeah.
Like there's a big rewriting here, or like PR spin that's going on of like, well, these wouldn't be breaches of the rules now. It's like, but they were then, and he was so good that I'm not going to say him getting money was the difference between him winning the Heisman or not. But we can't ignore the fact that it was definitely an advantage for him to be in his college situation, being given tons of money and being able to, the stress that may have removed, the advantages.
But we don't know if everyone else was also getting money. This is like the steroids era. Like,
probably true.
Yeah, just because one person got caught taking steroids doesn't mean that they all weren't taking them.
Which is, it's like saying this. It's an interesting parallel because does this mean that if MLB came out and said, you know what, everyone can play, everyone can have steroids,
let's juice them up, boys.
Barry Bonds suddenly gets into the Hall of Fame. Like that's what they're saying, that we should just say now he is the greatest hitter of all time.
And then they go one step further and say, hey, gambling on your own team is legal. And then Pete Rose is like, about fucking time. I was just ahead of the curve.
Exactly. Trendsetter. Worth also, thing we didn't mention, speaking of Heisman Trophy winners, never mentioned that OJ Simpson died. I don't think we obviously have to go into that topic in too much detail, but I'm always interested by when and where we separate the person, like the art, from the person, from the artist, or the athlete from what they do off the field.
Are
There's so many.
you're talking about the Kobe Bryant?
Yeah, for sure. Great example. No one cares. Raped a woman. Who cares? Build as many statues. They can't build enough statues at the moment of Kobe Bryant. You know, they'll probably end up building one in that hotel where he raped her. But the but OJ Simpson fell into that category where universally people decided, no, we can no longer tolerate him. It's always one of those interesting ones when you see who gets a pass, who doesn't. And there's no consistency in terms of their status or what it is they did. It just, however the cards fall at that particular time, change how you're perceived. He also didn't do a lot to help himself with writing a book on how he would have done it and kind of embracing the villain role to a certain extent, but still.
Yeah, I mean, the more interesting part for me with the OJ thing is just like the general acceptance from everyone in the world that this guy was a murderer and that it's just like a joke. Like, what does that say about society? That they've just completely accepted this and be like, well, you know what? We could make some great memes from it. Like, oh, OJ, man, he killed people. Isn't that great? It's fucking hilarious. Great actor, though. Like,
okay, actor. No, you're right. Our ability as a society to not like outright condemn it, but to turn it in. I don't know how you feel if you're a family member of either of the victims.
That's what I mean. Like, it's not that far removed. We're not talking about like Julius Caesar, where it's like,
wow,
oh, guy got backstabbed. Oh, what an asshole.
He went really far removed.
Yeah.
That's the only other stabbing you could remember.
I wanted to make sure there was no direct descendant connections.
It's like the only two stabbings I know: OJ Simpson, Julius Caesar. That's it. Yeah, that kind of reinforces how often do men think about the Roman Empire discussion that neither of us believe in. But no, you're right. I mean, it's 1994. It's really not that long ago.
Yeah.
A very large percentage of the population can remember it very clearly. Like, you and I are on the younger end, but I can certainly remember both the Bronco chase and his trial. It was kind of the first legal incident that I can remember, I would say, probably. And probably almost the first major news story that I can really remember. Like, really remember following, being aware of the discussion surrounding it, like watching it in the moment, hearing people talk about it, going to school, hearing teachers talk about the chase, the trial, everything. Like, that's probably the first major news story that I was old enough to be aware of any type of its significance. All right, pick a happier topic for us, Frank.
All right. 18 holes of golf, 18 beers, 18 hot dogs. Can you do it?
The hot dogs would be the tough part.
These are like golf course hot dogs. These aren't like monster footlongs.
Like the dollar dog at a baseball game.
Yeah.
Like you're getting just a bun and a sausage wiener. You're not getting. It's not like stuffed full of other ingredients.
This is coming to me from Instagram, where a person dressed up like Mr. Larson, Happy Gilmore's old construction worker boss, and played 18 holes of golf dressed like him while drinking a beer and eating a hot dog at every hole.
So, I mean, obviously I can do the 18 holes, so we can put that one down.
In a costume with a construction worker hat?
Yeah, sure. Or
helmet, I should say.
I mean, 18 beers over the course of 18 holes, not super easy.
5 hours?
But we're talking cans here too, right? Not pints.
Yeah.
Presumably, so we're talking 10, 11 pints in 4 hours. It's doable. Plus, you're walking, you are moving around, so that does make it a little bit easier. I would say the beers definitely. I just think you combine the beers and the 18 hot dogs. I'm going to be full. Like I
Are
think I'm going to
you
be
are
really
you
full
dipping the hot dog in the beer like Kobayashi style by the end?
before I even start. Before I tee off the first time, just down the first 18 dogs, and I'm ready to go. Now, I think the 18 hot dogs are causing me. That would be my. And I don't know how I'm breaking those up. Like, I
It's one
think
a
first
hole.
hole. Is that how you have to do it? Or can
That's
I
how
eat?
I'm saying.
I don't know. I think that is true. It's
You gotta be
spacing.
thankful for the par five. You get some time in between to let
Par
your
three's a
stomach
killer.
go. Par three,
Shit,
especially
all
if
in one.
hole in one would be brutal.
Yeah, I mean, it would encourage you to play kind of badly.
You'd
I
really
would.
milk you'd milk the walk down to pick the ball up out of the hole in a hole in one scenario.
I also. I'm assuming I wouldn't want a cart because the walking would help in terms of both walking off the beer and digesting. But then the cart might help too because if you're feeling a bit full, like being able to sit down for a moment and like move along. I don't know how. Where I think I'd opt to walk, but I could regret it.
How many times are you going to the bathroom?
Um, I've never gone to the bathroom on a golf course.
But have you ever had 18 beers and 18 hot dogs on the
No,
course?
so
Ever? What?
no, never. Yeah, I mean, I don't. As you know, I'm not a big. I've got a big bladder. one of my one of my better claims to fame. I got a very big bladder, and so any you got to throw in like usually when I'm playing golf, like say I'm playing golf with my dad, we're not drinking alcohol while we play. Like that's a very American idea, right? To have like beers while you play golf. Like I'm walking, and B, I'm just drinking water. So I've never gone. I would be 99% certain I've never done it. But if I were doing this, yeah, I'm gonna end up having to. If I've drunk 18 beers, then yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom once or twice. The 18 hot dogs could cause other issues. That would be the real concern. I'm not sure if it's up to golf etiquette to like take a squat on the side of the green at some point.
Well, they have bathrooms on courses.
Sometimes, again, in Europe, not really. You might
Well,
at the
well, you
like
have to go
at the
through at 9. You go through the
yeah
clubhouse
that
usually.
at the turn you'll have access, and maybe somewhere else you might occasionally get a little bathroom from time to time, depending on the course. But you got to be timing that pretty well to coincide with when you need it. Because there's no good remembering that there was a bathroom 3 holes ago when you're walking. If you're in a cart, then that's no big deal. But if you're walking the course, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's true. All right, let me give you a different scenario now. This one comes to us from our friend Larry David. I saw on a special whatever interview he was doing, they were discussing airplanes, and his main thing was the reclining of the airplane. And he is a firm no recline guy on airplane. Thoughts?
In economy, I never recline.
8-hour flight.
No, won't touch it a bit unless it were empty behind me. I won't
Now,
touch it a
what if
bit.
the person in front of you reclines?
No, because then you're just
No, no.
part of
I
the
mean,
problem.
like, are you punching them? Are you mad? Or
Um, if I'm about to eat, like when people do that during like food service, I'm saying something. If they're really, I mean, I'm 6'2". If they're really pushing into my knees, I might say, "Hey, I need a bit more space than this." If they're doing a marginal recline, I just have to let it slide. It's just the inconvenience of traveling with other human beings. But never economy. I'll never recline.
wow,
Like as I said, unless it's empty behind me, then I will. But even then, to be honest with you, I'm so used to not reclining in that scenario that I actually don't find the 5% recline that is available to you doesn't exactly turn it into
See,
a spa day.
now let me
So
argue against you there. Is that 5% recline really bothering you that much from behind?
yeah, when you're 6'2", yeah. I mean,
Oh, you're gonna play the 6'2" card on us.
yeah.
Oh, God forbid.
No, I mean, yeah, when your knees are, if I sit in most economy seats, my knees are touching the seat in front of me. So, yeah, if you recline, you are pressing into my knees. Like, there's no doubt. You are forcing me to adjust how I sit 100%, which I think is somewhat unacceptable. Like, I try not to impact the people I'm traveling with in any way if I don't know them. But if I'm in anything above economy where you know that probably the person behind there is room to allow for that, then yes, I think that's perfectly permitted. And look, if it were a 4-year-old child sitting behind me,
What
yeah,
about
then
6?
okay.
But he's
Depends
a tall
again.
6-year-old.
6'6" and I'll respect him. I'll respect him.
What if it's a guy in his mid-30s who's about 5'11" and a half sitting behind you?
No, I mean, honestly, I don't even consider it. Yeah, I don't do a check. Like, I'm aware of the fact if no one is behind you, because you can just have that sense. But
I don't
I
think it's that
never.
big of a deal. I don't recline that much, but every once in a while I recline. But fuck it, like the seat reclines, I'm gonna use it. If you don't want passengers to recline, then rip off the recline option.
I think I could be an advocate for the fact that they should just remove it altogether. Look,
That's fine by
as
me.
I said, I'm not going to complain unless it's during food service. You are an asshole if you are reclining when you know someone is having to use the tray table behind you.
Yeah, but that just proves that you're a psycho, because if you're reclining during food service, that means you're also eating while reclining. And that's just fucking weird.
But people do it. People do it. And, because also there's the people who aren't eating.
And that brings up a bigger point. At what point am I allowed to ask for their meal? Because I've always thought about this, where like someone next to me or in front of me is asleep and they don't get the meal, and I really, really badly just want to be like, "Can I just grab that guy's meal, please?"
So, and you, in this scenario, do not know them.
No, but can you pretend you do?
Yeah, I think if there's
Bill's sleeping. He said, "Just give me his meal."
I think if they're sleeping and you don't know them, that's the only move. It's the only option available to you is to say, "Oh, hey, I'll take it for him. He said either he'd eat it when he woke up, or I'll eat it. If not, I'll eat it."
But then you get that really weird encounter when perhaps that person wakes up is like, "Oh, can I still get my meal?" And the guy said that the flight attendant's like, "Oh, I gave it to your buddy. He said he was holding it for you." And you just look over at me like a squirrel with my mouth stuffed full of food.
Double trays stacked in front of you.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Admittedly, do you know what? I've never seen anyone wake up and then ask for their food.
I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
Oftentimes it's people who I think are hungover and they get on the plane and like kind of instantly fall asleep and don't realize that they've then fallen asleep and missed the meal.
the nice thing, right, on the modern planes is you can, depending on the airline, you can like type in whether or not you're going to want food on the display in front of you. So you can set like "wake me up."
Oh,
if
what first
you come
class is
by.
that, Eddie?
Well,
What first
even in
class
economy.
plane is that?
No. Even depending on the airline, even you can do like a thing where if you know you're going to fall asleep, it like displays like "wake me up when food comes."
I don't think that should be allowed. That's, if I'm a flight attendant, that's a scary scenario. So it does when you wake people up and they like react strangely.
I mean, I've had people wake me up. I've had the flight attendant do the little like shoulder touch to wake you up when they're bringing
Bite her
food.
hand off.
No, I mean, it's really annoying. As someone who's a bad sleeper, but who loves the idea of sleeping on planes,
Yeah.
when someone then wakes you up, it's like, I'll eat this now because you've woken me up.
Yeah.
but I would have much rather slept for the next 2 hours. Like, I'm not like that's going to make as good as this shitty airline food is going to be. The sleep was far more enjoyable.
Agreed.
Now, I guess we're not too far away, obviously, from the NFL draft. NBA playoffs slowly progressing. NHL playoffs progressing.
Oh yeah.
I did see the Islanders somehow concede 2 goals in like 9 seconds.
Yeah.
The other day.
Did you see the Jets and Avalanche game was like 4-4 at the end of the first period?
But
that's pretty crazy.
I have to admit, obviously, I don't watch a lot of NHL, but
2 goals in 9 seconds is crazy.
Yeah, almost would have told me unbelievable. Like to the point where if you'd said, "Hey, you and a few of your friends get to go out there. Do you think you can stop them for 9 seconds?" I would have given myself half a chance. Like, not entirely. Though, that raised an interesting issue for me because then the end of that game, who are the Islanders playing? Can't remember.
Hurricanes?
Carolina. Yeah. They had scored an empty netter to kind of like seal the game. And when the Hurricanes player got in front of the Islanders player for the empty netter, the Islanders player kind of took a couple swipes at like his legs, which I guess if you trip him, it's a penalty, right? But is that considered good etiquette in hockey? In like for an empty net scenario to be taking a couple whacks at a guy's knee when he's in front of you?
I don't know. He's probably just frustrated that they're losing.
Well, he was definitely frustrated because then even after the goal was scored, he took one more swipe at him, which was, I think, what ended up causing a little bit of the scuffle that ensued. But I just didn't know whether, even if he hadn't taken that final swipe, whether that would have been like, come on, what are you doing? Like,
well, the empty net goal is a very demoralizing goal. That one always hurts a little extra because you're at like the end of the road, and you're in desperation mode, and then someone in your desperation mode like puts the game clincher in. It is a very frustrating goal.
Yeah,
but pretty good NHL matchups for the first round again. With I think the main one being the Maple Leafs versus the Bruins. Which the Bruins seem to just be the Maple Leafs like nemesis when it comes to playoffs and can never get past them. I mean, the Leafs can obviously never get past the first round ever anymore, but it always happens to be the Bruins that they're playing when they lose.
Yeah, I mean, NBA too has some pretty good first round matchups. Like, quite lucky. Sometimes they get some real duds and just, mismatches in that first round. But yeah, even in the NBA, some nice little matches. But interesting to see what happens in both of those. Do you have
big comeback by the Nuggets in that game too? Did you see that against the Lakers?
Down 20 in the third quarter, came back to win.
And then Anthony Davis refused to talk at the press conference.
Yeah, I don't understand. Where's that interesting insight? Down 20, blow the lead. Biggest complaint is the officiating in the final 19 seconds. Like, I think he had bigger issues. Like, that wasn't the reason why you lost.
And also, I mean, when you go up to the podium for that press conference, what do you think the questions are going to be?
I think that they're required to make the appearance. That's one of the.
I guess.
Like, it's one of the key differences. Like, for example, in European sports, usually it's the requirement is that like a certain player has to go, but you don't have to specify who. So you can throw out the like substitute who, won't have a lot to say or won't be probed on the most controversial topics. I think the issue, obviously, in those sports is like he has to go or else he's getting fined. But still, I mean, you can deal with the question a little bit better than he did. The sort of semi-mic drop as you storm away like a child. Like, you can probably do a bit better than that. Rounding up other sports news, Rafael Nadal continues his comeback towards retirement. I don't know exactly how we frame it when he knows he's leaving, but he's putting in a lot of effort. It's been interesting to see. He's definitely lost a lot of weight or muscle mass mainly, I guess, to try and help his body survive the clay court season. He's also slightly changed his forehand technique, which is interesting, which is the thing that has both contributed to his dominance and contributed to his downfall, because of the way he hits the ball is so tough on his body in terms of the torque. But it also made me, because I've been watching a decent amount of tennis, I've been seeing a lot of commercials for that tennis movie, the Zendaya tennis movie. And I already was not going to watch it.
Got great reviews. It's like a 91 on Rotten Tomatoes.
The thing that kills me is watching even the trailer. She never changes her grip when hitting the ball. So she serves with a forehand grip. And it's just awful. Like, it's awful. And I know there'll be non-tennis players who listen to that and think like, whoa, what a like crazy specific thing to take issue with. But if you ever play, like, within whatever sport you've played, that would be such an obvious sort of red flag basic thing to get wrong that it would bother, anyone, whatever. It would be like watching a movie about the NFL and the quarterback was never had the laces in the right direction. You know what I mean? Like, was just like, I just throw it however it comes. Like, never I don't put my fingers over the laces. Like, 9 times out of 10, the laces are upside down. I don't care. That it would be one of those things that would just immediately trouble people. And to be honest with you, the forehand grip is probably more egregious than the laces, because you could make the argument you could still throw a tight spiral without the laces, but you couldn't serve with a forehand grip.
But, Eddie, they had a really good intimacy coordinator to get that threesome perfect.
Oh, yeah. She's got all the right grips in that threesome.
They were really focused on making sure that was accurate.
Forehand and one-handed backhand. She nails them both in that threesome. Yeah.
Speaking of movies, I went to the movies this weekend and last weekend, whatever, and saw the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
How was it?
The new Guy Ritchie movie. It was good.
You love Guy Ritchie. You just eat Guy Ritchie up.
I guess I do.
every Guy Ritchie related thing, like whatever, 9 times out of 10 at the moment when you're bringing up a piece of content you're consuming, it's Guy Ritchie.
He's hot right now. Guy Ritchie's hot right now.
In the Duca household again.
He's got a TV show. He's got a new movie out. Yeah, no, it was good. I have to say, it was really, really, really nice to have a movie under 2 hours at the movie theater. It was like, when it ended, I looked at my watch or my phone and was like, holy shit, my day's not completely over now. This is amazing. Like, I could do something still. Yeah, but it was good. It was like just a good action movie based on true events. Obviously, it happens, I think, pretty differently in the movie than it did in real life. I then went and looked up the actual operation and how it kind of took place, and it is definitely different than how they portray it. But it's based, like, the characters are based off of real people. The overall idea is based off of the real idea. It was like Operation, oh God, I want to say like Paperweight, but that's not it.
Postmaster.
There we go.
Pretty close.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a really cool idea, and even the fact that it's not exactly how it happened, the fact that this is what happened is pretty incredible. And it's kind of your standard Guy Ritchie movie, kind of a little over the top, interestingly, a lot of killing. They must have killed 150 people, but not gory. So it was kind of weird. Like, you're just
it's kind of like comic action, right? Like,
not like comic,
not comic as in funny, but like comic book. If you see what I mean, like the superhero killing.
kind of, but it's just a lot of like what's his face? Henry Cavill has a gun and is just like unloading on people constantly. Like he's just taking 10 people out on a clip.
I love World War II movies normally.
I'm not sure you'll love this one because it's World War II, but Guy Ritchie style.
I know, and I can tell that from already Henry Cavill playing a character who in real life was like a 5'9" skinny guy who has to be turned into this Hulk of a human.
But he's not even the biggest guy in the movie.
No, I know, but you know what I mean. Like, I get it. It's not made for me. I think I would be more frustrated by the experience than I would enjoy it.
Yeah, because you just can't enjoy anything.
It's mostly true.
I enjoyed it. It's an entertaining movie.
Well, that gives me a chance to have my first rant of the week, maybe.
Oh boy!
So
is this a World War II related rant?
No, it could set off World War III for me with customer support for a company.
Oh God!
So I ordered a pair of jeans from popular podcast sponsor, but not a sponsor of this podcast, and never will be after this experience. Mott and Bow. I've previously bought stuff from Mott and Bow and actually been pretty happy with it, to the point where prior to this I would have happily had them be a sponsor of the podcast. But I check always, because you always have this issue. They ship from the United States, and you always have are additional taxes and duties going to be applied to my order when it arrives here? And prior to the first time I ordered, they said, no, we ship it in a way where they know you've already paid U.S. tax, and like our setup means that you won't be sort of double taxed on this. And the first time I ordered from them, that was the case. This time around, no. So now, if I want to get my jeans, I now have to pay a tax in excess of the cost of the pair of jeans. So
what?
Yeah.
And they like agree to that. They said like, yes, that's actually true.
They say they've got no part to play in it. I contacted their customer support, and I was like, look, this is pretty unacceptable. I don't want to accept this package anymore. Like, I would not have bought these jeans at 210% of the price listed. And they said, not only do they have nothing to do with the customs and duties that get applied, nor do they have any control over when and where they are, but if I turn down the package and they are just sent back to them untouched, unopened, I will not be reimbursed for my original purchase. Which is kind of wild, because they're saying like, no, you need to pay the tax, and then I could ship it back to them, and then they would reimburse me. Like, it's very unhelpful stance on their part. But yeah, as a result of that, Mott and Bow firmly in my bad books. And in other news, speaking of favorite of the podcast, Vasilis. We have not had a Vas related story for some time. However, this weekend I did spend quite a bit of time with him, including going to a late night Greek party / club on Saturday night, where it was almost exclusively Greek, which was interesting. It was quite the experience. But he's also discovered that he's sort of at his mother's house found his old Pokemon collection, Pokemon card.
Oh, collection. I got rid of all of mine like a year ago. Is he playing again?
No, but including he owns a first edition
Charizard?
No. This is the thing, is they're in French, so I don't know what their real name. I was never into Pokemon.
They're in French.
I never knew. Well, I think his cards aren't in French, but the screenshot of the it's called Matt. It's like got 4 arms. It's like a blue creature with 4 arms.
Oh, it's hold on. It's
Seismic Toss is his move.
Yeah. It's not Magnar's the little guy. It's Machoke and then Machamp. Machoke, Machamp. There we go.
So he has a first edition Machamp, which according to the screenshot he sent me, worth around 12 to 15,000 euros.
No way.
He's very excited about it now.
No way.
He then showed me I will give him credit, he's got a very large collection of Pokemon cards. He must have a couple hundred here. He says he'll sell them all for 500,000 euros. So in case there's any listeners, big Pokemon fans.
But they're in French?
No, they're in English. His cards are in English. But yeah. So, contact the Big Chill Podcast if you have an interest, if you want to see more, find out more about this Pokemon card collection. They're all in like those binder sleeves, so they're well preserved, well taken care of, but they're not exactly sealed. None of them have been sort of authenticated or assessed. But yeah,
I mean, I'm looking at first edition Machamps here, ranging anywhere from $200 to $5,000.
He sent me a picture. Admittedly, he sent me this picture of first edition Machamp, and
Machamp was printed in massive quantities, well into the millions. There's not exactly how many copies, but it's one of the most common base set rares in collections today.
So yeah, I mean, he sent me this picture of a 1999 French. Maybe this is a thing, right? Because maybe in different countries they have different values, and I don't know, but
maybe it's the French version.
Maybe, but then I don't think he has the French version, so I don't know. Look, I've got
no idea. $15, $20, $275, $37.
Okay, look, if there's a listener of the podcast, let's call it 200,000. You can have them all right? And Big Chill will take its cut, take its commission. He did offer us commission. He said if we sold his cards for 500,000 euros, we could split 50,000. This was his offer. So there's a payday in it for us if we can pull it off. Opportunity, I guess, to say follow the Big Chill Podcast on Instagram or Twitter. That's your chance to put in your bid. You can tag us on Twitter and send us your best offer. The reality is, like we've spoken about it on previous episodes, like I got my huge baseball card collection. I've kind of gone through the process of assessing what some of them are worth. The reality is, if someone did come in and say, I'll give you $1,000 for the whole thing, I'm probably selling.
Yeah. I mean, I literally gave away 95% and just kept the 50 or so cards out of the 10,000 I had that might be worth something decent.
Yeah, it's tough.
I've only got 2 decent ones. I have, speaking of, I have a Kobe Bryant rookie card that's in a more rare of the rookie cards that's in good condition. And then I have a pretty nice Derek Jeter rookie card, a more rare version of it.
I have an OJ Simpson 1994 card where he shows that the glove doesn't fit. And I have and I have a Kobe Bryant. I got a Kobe Bryant Boulder, Colorado card where he shows that the condom doesn't fit. So, yeah.
Too far. Too far.
It's true. He didn't wear a condom, so that would be inaccurate. But any other topics to cover? Yeah, obviously, I know I disappointed you. I did not watch the final episode of Shogun, so we will have to save that. I'm caught up until that point. I did enjoy, I guess, spoiler alert, the penultimate episode ending with such a dramatic turn of events, the death of one of the main characters, if not arguably the main character almost of the show, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Interesting death scene. Her face kind of being blown into your TV screen. That was a little bit strange. Sort of preserved as her death mask came towards you, but yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a credit to how good this show is that there hasn't been as much criticism, because for one, I don't understand what a 90-pound body standing in front of a door is really doing for anyone in that room.
If anything, it's just adding to the shrapnel.
Yeah, I mean, you're just getting a piece of skull now, cut into your face.
You would have survived, however, her femur pierced your neck. Yeah, it's true. She wouldn't have done anything to absorb the blast. It was totally unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't get it.
it was a scene that overall actually slightly confused me in the start of like, were they being betrayed? Like, what was going on? Was this part of the larger plot? I didn't really know who was attacking
Well,
who.
because you can't see the emblems of like the, or you don't know. Like, I don't know them well enough. Like, I don't know what
No.
Toranaga's signet is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But now I know that the guy that Yabushige kills on the clock on the tower was a Toranaga guy.
Yeah. I thought he
But in real
was
time, I didn't know that. I thought
when it first
it was an Ishido guy.
when it first started. I thought it was like, this is the invasion happening.
Yeah,
He's killing the guards, and they're gonna let them in, and here we go. Here's the big move, and it's like, oh no, he's betraying everybody. And I both did not see that coming and did not understand it until he started yelling that there were intruders. That's basically when I realized, oh, okay, they're killing the quote unquote good guys.
yeah. But all right, well, we'll have to wait for the finale then. I won't say anything.
Next episode. I will watch it tomorrow. So, next episode of our podcast, I mean. Obviously. Next episode of the show, next episode of our podcast. Anything else?
No, I think that's about it for me.
All right.
Talk to you later.
See ya.
Cheerio.